Hello everyone, and welcome to another Chalice chat. We have just finished completing our first Chalice dungeon. You can see the Chalice right there on the altar. And so now we're going to move on to our second. In the meantime, I will note we are going to the Central Tumeru Chalice. And I believe we have everything we need here. Yes, indeed. So let us conduct the ritual. This will create our Chalice, which will take us to the Chalice dungeon. So let's go into Chalice dungeon number 2. And as I was starting to mention, you may notice that this character looks a little bit different than last time. That's because I have finally been able to switch back to the original character from the Translation-Born series. A series of technical difficulties in between caused me to have to run another character for most of that time, and I'm also wearing different gear. Last time I was in the Yahar Ghul Kidnapper set. This time I am in the Tomb Prospector set. So let me very quickly get everyone up to date on my stats. You can see that in the Translation-Born Makeup series I had the strength to 23, basically to match the build that I went for with this character, and the attire here. Interestingly, you might be able to more literally call this the Tomb Raider set, but I think that being another video game series is a pretty good reason to not call it that in this game. So now, let us explore the Central Tumeru Ruins. Unlike the previous Chalice Dungeon set, as I think I mentioned before, I am nowhere near as familiar with this one. So this, everything that we're going to be finding here is going to be more of a surprise to me. And you may notice that in my gameplay and my commentary. We're going to find out as I continue to delve deeper into these Chalice dungeons, chatting all the while. Okay, so here we have our boss door. And I'm just going to roll through this stuff here, roll into this wall. Illusory wall, by the way. I knew there was a term that involved the word wall for those hidden passages I kept talking about in the last episode, but for the life of me, I couldn't remember what it was, basically for the entirety of the previous episode. No fun at all. But finally, now that I've had a little bit more time to regroup and think about things, I was able to recall the term illusory wall. Pretty basic term, it's been in the series for a long time, and I guess it's just one of those things you forget when, just kind of runs out of your head. But I recalled it now, and so hopefully I will be able to continue to recall it in the future when I need to. Anyway, looks like we were able to quickly deal with a bell ringer. Glad we were able to take care of that. There's probably enemies, yes indeed, hiding in the shadows here. And you can already tell they're a little bit stronger. Ow! Hit right in the face with a Molotov cocktail. Because they don't all necessarily die in one hit. They've got just a little bit more damage I need to do to them. And so long. Alright. Yes, these are tougher indeed. And woo! I didn't know you could do that. But apparently you can pick up items as you jump off a ledge. And this doesn't look like it triggers more enemies, but I thought, yep, there's an enemy wandering around here. Hello there. Whoops, I locked on to the wrong one of you. And I got 2 in 1. Excellent. 2 for 1, enemy sale. Goodbye to you as well. And let's continue down the... Whoop, hello, I saw that out of the corner of my eye. You almost tricked me. And now you go down as well. Alright. I'm interested to see what differences playing on this particular build and this particular dungeon makes. Things should be a little bit harder than they were previously. But let's do our best to stick it out. Also, I wanted to talk briefly about some more practical programming type notes in relation to the show. You've probably already noticed that... Whoa! Hello, Poison. Goodbye, enemy. You probably already noticed that this series is coming out much more rapidly than Translation-Born ever did. That is, if you followed Translation-Born at all. Translation-Born basically released once every 2 weeks or so, and frequently later than that because things just get in the way. But this series I am aiming to make a twice-a-week release scheduled for Tuesdays and Thursdays, because they are a good deal easier to edit in afterwards. There's a lot more work that goes into the recording at the time, so basically the work I'm doing right now, a bit more involved than okay. Basically a lot more involved than Translation Born. But saw you that time. But the work that I have to do afterwards is considerably less, which makes a faster release schedule much more of a possibility. Okay, so there's one door there. I believe that's the only door around here. So I'm just going to continue on through it. I'm not sure I'm remembering this correctly, but I think so far I've followed the only viable path. Now this is what I was talking about before, closed door. So I'm going to leave that closed and go down this way because it's open, and hopefully remember what I did. And just in case... Oh, wow, I thought it was a poison knife. It was a Molotov cocktail. I'm lucky that the wall still blocked me. And I didn't even get to finish my thought, but I broke my own rule. I was wondering... Okay, they throw two at once. I was wondering if my stepping on some part of this would summon enemies, and so didn't want to fight that guy in this very room. But turns out I guess it didn't summon enemies. Hello there. Goodbye there. So I'm glad it didn't summon enemies, because if it had, that would have been quite the sticky situation. I always check both sides of these stairways whenever this room, as I'm sure you know, I think this is like the third or fourth time we've seen a room like this, but this type of room with that big central staircase, I always check both sides of the stairs in case something is hidden behind one of those little alcoves where the stairs are. There's never anything hidden there, but for some reason I always want to check. And yep, so pressing forward. Yeah, we'll see how well the bi-weekly schedule keeps up. Or, well, bi-weekly I suppose could mean either twice a week or once every 2 weeks. But we'll see how much of a challenge it proves to release these twice a week. And I am going to try and keep them about 20 to 30 minutes. I tend to find that as you go longer than that, it just starts to get old, starts to get boring, but I feel like that's a pretty good measurement of time, a unit of time, however you say it. I feel like that's a pretty good length for one of these episodes, especially because the commentary is a bit lighter. Oh, I seem to have... I've killed all these enemies, so I've looped back somehow, which means I definitely made a mistake somewhere. But having completed a loop, let's go and find out where I didn't go that I totally missed. So now we're across... Okay, the boss door is definitely still closed. But... And is this the lamp? That's the lamp. So where didn't I go? Is there a hidden door? Is there an illusory wall? Can't imagine they would require you, otherwise it wouldn't be much of a secret. They wouldn't require you to do that. I must have missed something in one of these areas over here. So I'm going to redouble my ground and try and find out where I know exactly where I didn't go. It's where I left that closed door on purpose, and I already forgot about it. Look at me. But anyway, as I was starting to say, the other thing about the episodes, I originally had wanted Translation Born to be about 30 minutes an episode, and I quickly discovered that the information density of that series meant that episodes of that length were simply untenable. It was very hard to maintain anyone's interest and concentration over that length of time, because it's just a huge spray of information that I'm shooting at you in those videos. Aha! Yeah, I'm gonna hit these dogs hard, because I don't like dealing with dogs. Alright. And, yeah, it's interesting how different types of content do or don't hold attention spans for different lengths of time. Because I quickly found that 10 to 15 minutes is more in the acceptable realm for the Translation-born episodes. But for episodes like this, where I'm just kind of running around and freely talking at will as I explore dungeons, it seems like the 20 to 30 minute mark is more forgiving, more appropriate, but I don't want to simply decide that on my own. I might do a bit of experimenting in terms of episode length. I definitely did some experimenting when it came to the Translation-Born series, so some experimentation in this series might be in order as well. We will have to see. And if any of you would like to weigh in who are watching, I would certainly like to hear your opinions on what you think a good episode length might be, and what you think a sustainable release schedule might be, what a good release schedule might be, rather. I am better able to decide what's sustainable. But for now, we've unlocked the boss door. Let's see if we have a hidden path. Well, not so hidden. Let's see if we have an intermediary path. It looks like no. It looks like we're just going straight down to fight the boss, which means I'm going to top up my health here, and we'll see who it is. Who awaits us behind the first boss door? It looks like... Whoa! Ah! A beast something. Wow, I don't even know that second kanji. That's, well, it's not entirely unheard of, but, it's, not what I'm used to. I'm gonna have to look up this boss name and edit it in after the fact, and you can draw your own conclusions from there. And all those swipes he took at me, and I didn't manage to get off one parry. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. So, let's keep going here. He uses flame. He's a beast who uses flame. We've actually encountered one enemy like this before in the main game. I'm glad I didn't get speared by his attack there. At the bottom of the long pit in the Healing Church Workshop area, there is an enemy that is basically this exact same type in the main game. That's the only one in the main game, and in the Chalice dungeons, obviously this one's a boss. I think they show... Oh boy! I think they show up as regular enemies later. I'm running low on bullets, so I'm going to take this opportunity to make some blood bullets, heal up, and still get out of the way. I'm glad I managed to do all of that in one go. And let's wait for him to initiate another attack. Oh! Oh, too slow. Too slow. And that's going to be a punch. Yeah, those big slow punches. I'm getting a little bit happy with my blood vial usage there, but I think... Oh, man. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh, and I'm dead. Alright. Well, so much for that. I will be back soon, I suppose. And I awaken once more at the lamp. And now we get to see the really convenient thing about the... Whoops. As I run into the completely wrong door. We get to see the really convenient thing about the Chalice dungeon setup with regard to bosses. Because if you die, all you have to do is run back and it's right there. You don't have to flip the lever again or anything like that. You can just go straight back to where you died before and pick up the fight from there. So, back at this guy, let's try and be a little bit better with... Ooh, I thought... it was a slower attack. I thought maybe I had a better chance of parrying that one. Nope. Nope. Oh, I had a good feeling about that too. His arm was long enough that he just kind of clipped me. Ooh, I got him in the jump attack! Ooh, that was cool. Alright, there's one visceral down. Quite a lot of damage, that's what I like to see. Alright, gonna throw more fire at me. Alright, I was kind of starting to remark on that. The, the fire throwing thing. Aha! Yes! Give me my health back. Good. Two more like that, and it's the end of the boss fight. Yes! One more like that, and it's the end of the boss fight. Might be relying a bit too much on viscerals for this guy, but it's working. But I was remarking on the fact that he can throw fire. Beasts in general are weak to fire. You may or may not recall. I don't think I can recall, but the blood-starved beast in Old Yarnum. Oh yes, what a cool way to do this. The blood-starved beast in Old Yarnum was noticeably weak to fire. But this particular beast throws fire at you, which makes it rather unique among the enemies you fight in the Chalice dungeons. Not just the Chalice dungeons, in the entire game. Beasts and fire generally don't tend to mix, and yet we have a flame-throwing beast. Make of that what you will. And it looks like these stairs go up, which means that's probably the wrong way to go. So let's... Oh, do these stairs also go up? Alright, well, this is closer to the lamp, so... Aha! Yes, this is one of the other interesting things to me about the Chalice dungeon construction, is that you're always going down. And the further down you go, the further progress you are making. Ah, and here we have another alternate kind of setup, where we have a branching path before we technically get to the first lantern of Layer 2. But I'm almost positive the lantern's going to be behind this door because of how the dungeons are routinely set up, and indeed it is. So I'm going to set this up, and I think what I'm going to do, because I've still got a little bit of time, even though I'm done with that first layer, is I'm going to try and fully explore this side path, and then call the episode when I get back to that lantern. Which, oh, now that I think of it, I'm pretty sure, because I died, I should have a blood stain in the area of that last boss fight. And if I can go back, I can pick up my blood echoes. I was trying not to focus on that in the fight because I didn't want to get distracted. I didn't want to get too distracted and then end up dying because I was desperate about getting my blood echoes back. But I ended up putting them completely out of my mind and forgetting them and going on through the dungeon. I almost certainly would have lost them if I hadn't remembered them just when I did. So that worked out. But let's continue on. And as I was saying, it's to backtrack a little bit, it's kind of interesting to me that you always go down deeper and deeper into the Chalice dungeons. The first one, I think you can already tell in the overall progression. That was the Tumaru Ruins. Now we're in the Central Tumaru. The one after this, I'm almost positive, is the Lower Tumaru. So, hello, Scorpion. Whoa, okay, they explode with poison. Beware of scorpions exploding in poison. And they definitely don't like lightning attacks. More than... Alright. Okay. So, lightning attacks are the way to go on those guys. They are not as resistant to them as they are physical attacks. Good to know. But, yeah, as I think I was saying, I'm almost positive that the next Tumaru Chalice after this will be the Lower Tumaru Chalice. So we went Tumaru, Central Tumaru, Lower Tumaru. We're getting lower as we go. And each one of the dungeons in and of themselves, you start at Layer 1, and then you go down to Layer 2, and down to Layer 3. You're always moving more and more deeper underground. And that's also reflected, I believe, the difficulty ratings for the chalices themselves when you are in the midst of creating the dungeons are listed as depths. So you start with a depth 1 chalice, and then you get to a depth 2 chalice. Everything about it is worded that you're just going further and further down, which I think fits pretty well with the idea that you're kind of oh, hello poison. Exploring, oh, right, get away. Okay. Exploring further and further into the recesses of, is there a cannon? I think there might be a cannon. I specifically remember rooms like this, where these giant bridges are overhead, and a large open area in the center. There's usually someone up above with a cannon they can fire at you. And in, ooh, look at that, in passages, oh boy, I don't want to get hit by a cannon, so I'm going to run under here. Hello. But, yeah, if I can hold on to what I'm thinking for 2 seconds, it kind of gets at the idea of plumbing the depths of something's mind. Wow. Wow! My ability to do lightning damage finished that guy fast. I'm used to those guys taking like 20 hits. Okay. And are there any more? I want to be careful of more guys dropping onto my head from the ceiling. But I think that may have been the only one. So, you kind of delve deeper and deeper to get to the truth. I think it's very appropriate for this kind of setting, with this kind of Lovecraftian theme. But anyway, now that we've explored that lower passage, I believe this... Whoop. He's gonna get up. I believe this will bring us to the upper portion of those bridges that we were just running under, which will allow us to better explore this particular side path. Are you gonna get up too? Haha! You are gonna get up too! And now you're gonna get back down, because I managed to finish you off. So, let us move forward. Oh, I saw you behind that door. I turned my camera in just such a fortuitous way as to see you waiting there for me. Who else is here? Is anyone else here? There's usually someone else here. Okay. I wonder if there are traps. I wonder if someone's gonna jump out at me from one of these coffins. So far, the answer appears to be no, but these types of first sights can be deceiving. I'm hearing a lot of motions and things. Maybe as if there were some sort of trap. And thank you, blood vials. And I think I heard someone get up. Yes, I sure did. This guy with the long weapon. I'm glad I didn't go right for that chest. He probably would have nabbed me just as I finished opening it. There's a kidnapper to be wary of. And that appears to be all that's set up in this particular room. So come at me, kidnapper. Let's see what you can do. There's the jump, and my own electric charge slowed me down so much I was unable to dodge at the correct time. And, yep, their moves are slow. That always throws me off. However, now that you've opened yourself up, I can take advantage of the fact that you're still, I believe, weaker than you are in the main game. And now I feel like this has been cleared out enough that I can open this chest. Yes, indeed. Wait a minute. Okay. Some very disconcerting sounds coming from, I guess, above my head? Ooh, hello! Poison knife. Poison knife thrower out here by the bridge. Okay. That takes care of you. Anyone else? I want to keep moving, because as I keep moving, it means there's less of a chance I'm just going to be a sitting duck. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to lower that to get across. Ooh, you can see over into the sky. Speaking of getting constantly lower, the sky is still visible from this depth. Although I don't know how much of that is purely for visual effect. Still, it's an interesting touch. Up the ladders we go. And I feel like there's going to be something... Nope. Ooh, I bet this lowers the... And it's from this side. I bet this lowers that bridge. Yes. Yes! Okay, I'm not sure what that accomplishes, but it's definitely lowered the bridge. So, I'm going to shoot across here before I open that door, because based on the sounds I was hearing in the room below, there's a whole bunch of enemies behind that door just waiting to hit me. And you, sir, oop, fell over. Do I want to fall back down and deal with him? I think I do, because I've already killed just about everything here. Should be a quick backtrack. Alright, plunging attack actually worked. Ooh, if he'd hit me, and these urns with a Molotov cocktail, these urns would have all exploded. That would have been a bad time. Another reason why you generally want to keep moving when you're running through dungeons like this, and places where enemies are all around. But for now, let's backtrack. Come up this ladder here, and continue to explore past the treasure chest room, which now should contain no threats. I don't think I've killed anything in here with a visceral, so there shouldn't be any blood lickers around. And indeed there are none. Okay, now we're going to open this door, and probably a whole bunch of enemies are going to come running out, so I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to run away. I'm just going to open it, and I'm going to run away. I'm going to run away. I'm going to whoop. I'm going to run away. I'm going to run away. I'm going to jump down here. Didn't mean to jump all the way down, but it worked. It worked. He followed me. To his doom. And this guy, you know what? You can take your time. Climb down all those ladders. Or just constantly go up and down. Yeah, stay there on the ladder. Yes. Thank you. You were very cooperative. I want all of the enemies I face to be as... Whoa! Consider it as that! Nope. I thought I would fall onto the dog. I did not fall onto the dog! Oh dear! Oh dear! Ooh, that was a well-timed heal. But the dog jumped away Dog jumped away. Okay, recovering my stamina. Dodge the dog's attack. Hit the guy by mistake. And get a double kill. Okay. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I'm not going to argue with the results. And we have another ladder dancer. Goodbye. Keep dancing on that ladder. Looks like there's another dog up there, but we should be getting... Come on down. We should be getting low... Oh man, I can't hit these dogs to save my life. Dodge. Hey. And one more time. Dodge. And follow up, but the dog dodged that time. Dog dodge. It's a little tricky to say fast. Okay. That was a bunch of enemies. I still hear a few... Oh, it's a big guy. You want to come down here? I'm just slowly drawing out everyone who is in that room and killing them out here, which honestly is just fine by me. Here, what happens if I shoot you? What happens if I shoot you? Will you come fall off, or are you stuck? Is that as far as you will go? What happens if I come up and tempt you? Oh, all right. Whoop whoop. And now that you've fallen down, let's fight you where I've got a little bit more room to maneuver. And... Visceral, please? Yes. Ooh, I thought I might have been too late that time. But it worked out. And finish. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Now that the Visceral doesn't kill them, if getting the Visceral and then following up will cause blood liquors to appear. I don't think it will. I think you need to kill with the Visceral in order for that to happen. Which means, oh, well, I don't exactly plan on coming back here anytime soon. But, man, there are still enemies in here. Holy cow. Dodge. Yeah, always on the move. Always on the move. Oh, another dog. Lucked out with that. Unlocked on kill. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Okay. Ooh, lucky double kill. The strikes just happen to work in my favor. They work against my favor often enough that I'll just take that. That's fine. Oh, hello. Getting up off the floor. Man, the room that just keeps on giving. There were so many enemies in here. What were they guarding? Are there more? I think there's still more, because this guy, yep, looks suspiciously like the other one who got up after everyone was gone. Man, talk about a lot of enemies to fight in one room. What were they guarding? Who's in this sarcophagus? Ah, I believe that is the Hintertomb Chalice. And I'm pretty sure I already talked about the Hintertomb translation for some reason when I was going through Hemwick. But, yes, let us continue. I believe we are almost at the end of this side path. And as we come into this room, I think we came into the side path. Yep, those dead scorpions down there, I'm pretty sure, are fairly close to where we came in. So let's just make sure there are no illusory walls, which I still remember the term illusory walls. That's a good sign. And nope, nope. Okay, excellent. Any more illusory walls? Nope, doesn't look like it. Well, there may be one, but they weren't in the obvious spots, so I'm going to say that's that. Fall in here, and now let's retrace our steps to get back to, not there, to the entrance to the dungeon. Now that we've secured our extra chalice, we're going to need that, as that's part of more preset chalice dungeons that we will be doing later. And I'm going to run over here, and that is going to do it for another episode of the Chalice Chats. Join me next time as I warp back to the Hunter's Dream and decide what to do with all of these blood echoes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.